I was carrying the sofa alone. It was really tiring. And I was like, how am I going to channel any energy because I'm not getting it from anyone else? So that was a new thing that I had to really learn and get on board with and get used to.
This movie is phenomenal. I love the horror elements brought into the fantasy world, and your performance is just tremendous. Really good job.
Thank you so much.
My first question actually has to do with the fact that a lot of the time in this movie, you're on your own. How does your process change when you're acting kind of in the scenes yourself versus with a scene partner?
Well, I think it's huge because when you're in a scene with someone else, you are able to feed off their energy, you know? So if somebody's giving you something, you're able to really respond back to it. It's like carrying a sofa. It's like Ross and Monica carrying the sofa down in Friends. When they're pivoting, if Monica drops it, you're screwed. But because it's even, you're good. You're going to get down the stairs. It's the weirdest analogy I've ever used. But I was carrying the sofa alone. It was really tiring. And I was like, how am I going to channel any energy because I'm not getting it from anyone else? So that was a new thing that I had to really learn and get on board with and get used to.
You did a great job, and I love the analogy.
You're welcome.
And then can you talk to me a little bit about Elodie's physical transformation and how that mirrors her like internal growth?
Well, yeah, I mean, her physical transformation, one, she starts off with long hair and she ends with short hair. Two, she starts off with a full wedding dress and she ends in basically the chemise under her wedding dress. So I think as her costume lost layers, it also lost layers of this person she didn't know she was. And I think that she then started to find herself. And I love the way that that's how the movie goes.
It was one of my favorite parts. And then I love that this really becomes like Elodie's journey to find herself and step into herself. And I've also loved how we've seen that with Eleven in Stranger Things. A lot of Screen Rant readers are huge fans of Stranger Things. Is there anything you can tease about kind of Eleven's final journey this season?
There's not much I can tease, but I know everybody's super excited. So I just think if you've loved the seasons before, you trust the Duffers. They're geniuses and they'll bring it like no other. And from what I've read, it is unbelievable. And I'm so excited for people to see it.
And then what did you find most surprising about Elodie's journey in this movie, especially with how the movie bucks all the traditional fantasy stereotypes?
I think that's probably what drew me to it the most. It's not a typical fantasy. You know, it's not a typical fairy tale. The princess ends up being her own savior and she, I just think it's a good message to send and put out there in the world. And so, yeah, I think that's probably what drew me to it.
And then can you tell me a little bit about working with Juan Carlos and what he brought as a director that's maybe different from other directors you've worked with in the past?
I mean, JC was amazing. I really, truly haven't ever met someone like him. His vision and dedication to this project, from the tiniest details to, the dragon, in post-production, he has truly put himself in this. And I think that you couldn't ask for more from a director.
Like I said, the movie is absolutely phenomenal. I can't wait for more people to see it. Like, you're just so amazing in this movie.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was a pleasure to speak with you.